So in this video, we're going to talk about how much you can save by changing your residency out of New York State and or out of New York City. Now, first of all, I want to say, I've lived in New York my whole life. I love New York. It's a great place to live. You know, whether you're in the suburbs or in the city, I've lived in both. And there's just obviously many things here that you will never get anywhere else in the world. You know, I feel like you probably get better Italian food here than you do in Italy. You know, I probably vouch for that. But when it comes to raising a family, you know, living your best life, running your own business, even maybe working for someone else or partnering up with something, whatever you choose to do with your personal and professional life, you know, finances are there, whether you like it or not. Everyone has to deal with finances at every level. And you may be happier living your life in another state or city, usually because of finances when it comes to a place like New York City. So as we're going to get into these, you know, next couple of videos and topics and things like that, I just want to say, like, I love New York, but it's not the best place for everyone, right? So you really need to think about that when deciding whether to, you know, raise a family and or start a business and or take a job here in New York City. If you are close to making the decision or have made a decision where you are going to switch your residency outside of New York City, it's not that simple. Let me tell you that. People think, oh, I'm just going to get up, you know, my lease is up, or I'm breaking my lease, or I'm selling my home, and I'm either signing a new lease, buying a new home. I got it all set up, and you know, I'm just going to get on a plane or get in the car and get out of here. And trust me, if it was that simple, you know, I probably wouldn't be that busy all day, okay? Because you need to establish many different things, okay? We're not gonna cover them all on this video. The main things are this: your primary residence must be out of state, okay? You must spend at least half the year out of the state, you know? And usually better to spend that half a year in the state your primary residence is in, okay? Your driver's license must be in that state. Your voting registration must be in that state. Your primary possessions, whether they're your house, they're in your safe deposit box, you know, we're talking about gold, jewelry, your pets, your kids in school, that must all be in the state where your primary residence is. If any of these things are not in your primary residence, why are they not? Why would my primary residence be Miami, but I'm still registered to vote in New York? Why would I be, you know, my primary residence be Austin, Texas, or Las Vegas, Nevada, if my dog, who I love and I've had for 10 years, is still somehow being taken care of in New York? No. You have to vote in Florida, vote in Nevada. Your dog, your kids, your spouse has to be with you in that state. Now, okay, that's maybe, you could potentially have a spouse in a different state, but we will save that for another time. Generally, you need to show your life, your business, your work in that primary state. And if you don't do this the right way and you do get caught, it's not fun, it's not cheap, and it's going to change your life for a couple of years. New York State makes well over $1 billion, that's billion with a B, $1 billion a year off residency audits. Residency audits alone, more than income tax, sales tax, any other type of audit. They make the most money out of people trying to claim that they've changed their primary residence to another state, mostly Florida, but it could be, again, Texas, Nevada, New Jersey, and even a state with taxes. But I've moved out of New York, but they're like, no, you didn't fully actually move out of New York. You didn't do it. We got you on factors 1, 2, 3, ABC, and now we're going to assess New York State and or city income tax penalty and interest for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and that's it. Take it or leave it. You want to go to court, same type of thing. So it's something that has to be done properly, with very, you know, things, with all the steps have to be taken, has to be organized, and you want to consult with your CPA and possibly a tax lawyer and make sure everything's done right before you decide to fully go forward with this decision and do everything the right way. So by changing your residency outside of New York State, New York City, to a non-tax state, you could save almost up to 15%. And that's calculated by the top bracket in New York State now is 10.85%. And the top bracket in the city is 3.85%. Add those together, you're almost at 15%. So yeah, if you could earn the same amount of money in Miami, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Austin, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada, and you can earn the same amount of money in any of those cities or states compared to being in New York City, you will have another almost 15 cents for each dollar in your pocket. And that's Very simple math. You know, if you're taking home $300,000 a year and you can get that same $300,000 in New York City or in a state with no taxes, you'll save $45,000, $40,000. Significant amount of life-changing money. And that's just as simple as it is. So if you are considerably thinking about changing your residency outside of New York City, or you're already made the decision and you definitely want to do it, we suggest a consultation at our firm. Even though we are located in New York City, we have clients all over the country, all over the world. A lot of clients in Florida and other states that don't have taxes, but even states like California that do have taxes. Wherever you're deciding to move, we're happy to help you. Look at the pros and cons, run the numbers, and make sure that you make the best decision for you, your family, and your business.